Hey, everybody. It's Sunday night. My name is Kim Danke. I am excited to be here with you. We are going to do the Shibboleth lifestyle overview tonight. And if we can, let's start off with a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you are in the Zoom room, please find where your chat button is. If you're on your computer, it's down at the bottom. On your phone, you might have to hit three dots or something like that. But anyway, find your chat button. Once you find the chat button, go ahead and click there. And then where it says all panelists, click there. And then choose the option that says all panelists and attendees. And then when you chat tonight, everybody will be able to see what you say, not just me. If you have it marked to all panelists, it would be to just me. It's much easier to answer questions when people know where the questions are coming from. So all panelists and attendees works best. If you are on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate that. There is a share button in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you're on your phone, please click share and send this out. This is the secret to weight loss and wellness. This is the Shibboleth lifestyle overview tonight. That's what we're talking about. This is important information for people. If you are finding this and you are not a Shibboleth member yet, please join us today, shibbolethdeals.com. You get a $59 lifetime membership that does end at 11:59 p.m. If you are seeing this after that time, the price will be higher than that, and that's just the nature of a deal. You miss out on the deal, but that doesn't mean that it's not still a good value. It just means that one we're offering today is crazy good. So if you're on Facebook, please share. If you are a member and you are watching on Facebook, please remember two things. I would love for you to join me in the Zoom room. When you register and then spend at least 20 minutes in the Zoom room on a class, your digital badge increases. And I don't know if you are like me, but I like my digital badge numbers to increase. Plus, it just shows me that I am engaging. But if you are on Facebook, please tell me how much weight you have lost if you are a Shibboleth member, because I want to encourage our new members with this information. Hey, Gloria, glad that you're on here. And you feel free to say hello, everybody on Facebook. In the Zoom room, we're going to go ahead and let you guys tell me, are you new? Are you here for a refresh? Where are you from? I want to know those things. I like to get to know you. This is important to me. It's important to me that we start to get to know each other because you have people now that are trying to achieve like-minded goals. And in order to do that, we need to get to know each other. Hey, Nancy. Nancy is new. She just joined yesterday. And Becky is new. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Hey, Julie Johnson. She's new. Awesome. Awesome. And Christina is new. And M. Napier, I'm new and I haven't began the program yet. This is the beginning right here, right now. Hey, Chad Davis from Florida, new. Hey, Tamar Cox in Dallas, Georgia, just joined and start tomorrow. Awesome, awesome. M. Napier is from Kentucky. Sheila Jones, refresh from Rome, Georgia. Kathleen is new. Welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here. I want to assure you that you have made a good decision. Hey, Kimberly. Hey there. And Tammy, Rockmont, Georgia, joined yesterday, started day one on June 1st. Joined and started day one. Awesome, Tammy. That is fabulous. And Renee from Chatsworth and Jana. Hey, Jana. Let's see, Kathy Chapman on Facebook. Hey there, I'm a member since April, started at 196 and she's now 179. Congratulations, Kathy. And she is from Santa Fe, Tennessee. That's awesome. Hey, Ryan, hubby from Dallas. Awesome. Good job, Gloria. Glad that you're doing that. Nicole from Jasper, brand new. And Kara and Ellen from Lakeland, watching together, new to the program. Awesome. Hey, Luke. Luke, hey there, buddy. I talked to Luke a week or so ago. Glad that you're with us. Awesome. Hey, Janet. Janet, awesome. I'm glad that you're here again from Louisiana. This is her third week, and I want to say that Janet has joined us for some part of Fast Track for 3 weeks now because she's serious, because she wants to have this be her new way now. This is not a diet, y'all. Diets are done, they end and they have a beginning and an end. This is a lifestyle, okay? Hey, Yvonne. So Janet, doing a good job right there. Glad that you're here. And Yvonne is from Georgia, and she's new. Yes, yes, Janet. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot to cover tonight. What I want you to know about tonight is that this is the lifestyle overview. So, besides being your Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, I'm actually an FAA certified drone pilot. So, if I took my drone and I shot it up into the sky right now, I could get an overview of my home, where I live, and my neighborhood. I could get an overview. It would be much better than just seeing it from down here. What I'm going to give you tonight is the Shibboleth lifestyle overview. The whole lifestyle is going to be told to you tonight in 1 hour. Living this lifestyle is really not that hard. The parts that we talk about the rest of the week are the features of the website that can help you have great variety and great information. And I like to shorten your learning curve and help you learn how to do that quickly. That's why we teach this class every night. So it's a different class every night, starting Sunday through Saturday, and then it repeats itself Sunday through Saturday. Okay, so y'all just keep coming right on back. Hey, Miss Polly. Polly's here again. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And Helen, hey, glad you're here, Helen. Awesome. Returning to the planet. That's fabulous. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Hang on. Oh, Kathy, awesome. She's on Zoom now. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'd want to get credit too. Y'all stay in Zoom. Okay, so tonight I'm going to show you this PowerPoint. If you're like me and I feel like, oh my goodness, I might not ever see this information again, I'll screenshot stuff on my phone or whatever on my computer, like print the screen. You don't need to do that. You have access to this after tonight. Okay. So if you're going to do anything tonight, it's to take notes. Okay. So take notes rather than screenshot, because that's even better because you can access this again. All right. The basics. There are 2 modes in Shibboleth. You are either in weight loss mode or maintenance mode. You are not meant to be in weight loss mode for the rest of your life. It is a period of time to get you where you want to be, and then we stay in maintenance for the rest of our life, okay? Now, there are 3 differences between these 2 modes. 1, the number of holidays that you can use in a calendar month. 2, how you eat fruit. That sounds funny, I know, but how you eat fruit. And 3, your mindset. You might be starting this off thinking diet. And if you are, go right ahead, just think it, okay? But by the time you get to maintenance, we have to have that mindset straight. We've got to have that mindset that this is the lifestyle. I say to people all the time, this is how you should be eating anyway. If they don't see what they want on the scale one day or even over a week's time, I'll say, this is how you should be eating anyway, because this is not just for weight loss, it's also for health, okay? But those 2 things go together. In the lifestyle and what I'm covering tonight, it's like the language of Shibboleth. How do we talk? What do we say? What are the terms that we use? That's what we're going over tonight. And then the other bit of information that I want to make sure that you're aware of is that what Shibboleth is, it's a management system. I personally needed a management system. I do not need to go at this food thing every single day willy-nilly. I need to know what are the standards and what are my daily objectives. And that is what Shibboleth is. It is a management system. It's also the education that we never received, but we needed. So what this lifestyle is going to provide you is education, structure, and accountability. And those are the three things that you can use to help you achieve the results that you're looking for. So we have two modes, weight loss or maintenance. We have two types of days, a perfect day or a holiday. Now, if you joined with a lifetime membership and you've already played around and looked in your journal, you're going to say, wait a minute. When I click on that drop down menu, I see like 10 different types of days listed there. Well, all those other days are versions of perfect days, but they're advanced versions of perfect days. They are when you move up and you're ready to advance your knowledge, you can use those. But in the beginning, all I want you to do is put blinders on. Blinders. Perfect day, holiday. Perfect day, holiday. That's it. We don't want to focus on any of those other types of days because those other types of days are going to really require that you know the foundation of the lifestyle to be able to successfully do those other types of days. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, so make sure that you understand we're looking for a perfect day or holiday in a calendar month. How many holidays are allowed in a calendar month? Well, first of all, a holiday is simply a day that's not perfect, okay? When we are in weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. That is a day where you're not meeting some component of the Shibboleth shield. When you are in maintenance mode, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. So how do you have a perfect day? You simply follow the Shibboleth shield. After 2 perfect days, you are in EFB. EFB stands for efficient fat burning. And I like to say EFB, baby, because that is a great place to be. When you're in efficient fat burning, your body is burning stored energy for the energy that it needs. All stored energy is fat. We overate on certain days that it didn't get burned off on that day. It got stored, and we did that multiple days in a row, and then it just got more stored. Okay. So that's what we're trying to access to use as energy. That's how fat goes away. It gets used up as energy. How do we get into a state where we efficiently burn fat, meaning using that fat as energy? You have a perfect Shibboleth day. After 2 of them, you are in efficient fat burning. So you're going to drink your water, you're going to journal, you're going to have properly combined meals, you're going to portion control, and we're going to stop grazing. Okay, that's what the timing is. So we call this water, journal, combinations, portions, and timing. So those are the 5 components to a perfect day. So the way I like to look at this now, and I'm going to go over 5 different slides going over these things. I'm going to tell you the standards. You will now have standards to live by. Then every single day that you're wanting to have a perfect day, your objective is to meet those standards. Component number 1 of the shield is water. You want to drink at least half a gallon of water every single day. Now, it's better if you shoot for a gallon, but the minimum that you can have is half a gallon. So if you want to look at this, it's 4 of these. 4 of these water bottles would be your minimum. You've got to get that in to say that you've had a perfect day. But shoot for a gallon. It keeps you more mentally and physically satisfied. A dehydrated body will not give up fat or waste, and we need both of those things to be moving out of our body on a regular basis. So let's get our water in. Component number 2 of the shield is to journal. We're going to write down everything that we eat. You are now a citizen of planet Shibboleth, okay? I hope you like being a citizen of a new planet. I know I do. I love it. But there are no idle bites on planet Shibboleth. If you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. Okay, we're going to write down everything that we eat. We are at a spot where we need to change some habits. These habits are changed by being aware of what you're doing. How do you know what you're doing every day? You write it down. We have busy lives. We will not remember if we don't take the time to write it down. So you must write it down in order to say that you have had a perfect day. Component number 3 of the shield, and I'm just going to say right now, secret alert. Secret alert. It's eating in a way that controls insulin. We call this combinations. And combinations is really so simple. It is putting a lean protein with a fibrous carb. Or let me go on over that in the next slide. We're going to eat properly combined meals. We're going to eat in a way that controls insulin, AKA the fat bus. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus. This is a major secret. We're going to go ahead and talk about that on in 3 slides, I think. Component number 4 of the shield is portions. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. Now we say 6 to 8 inch plate because if you eat off of a smaller plate, your mind feels like you had a full plate and everything. But no matter what size plate that you have, you're going to use your 2 hands, and you take your 2 hands with you wherever you go. So you simply don't do it like this. In fact, my husband did that one day and covered some food up, and somebody said, "Can he be my mentor?" I said, "No." Okay, you're going to close your fingers up. You're going to move your fingers, your thumbs out of the way. You put your hands together as close as possible. You lower your hands down over your food, not looking at it like this. You lower your hands down over your food. And if you cannot see your food sticking out around your hands, then you have portion controls. Our stomach is no bigger than that. And you don't want it to be really any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. And I say that just, we're not piling up a Thanksgiving or Christmas plate and then going, I can't see my food. Okay, so but if you're eating a steak that's really tall, you just have to use common sense that if you cut it smaller and put it under there, it would still be fine. So you got to use common sense on that part. But we are going to portion control our food. So we've just been over 4 things. Water, y'all, that's not hard. Just start getting your water in. Journal, not hard to start writing down everything that you eat. We're going to eat in a way that controls insulin. That's combinations. That one is the one that you are going to want to figure out, because you got to know what simple swaps you're going to make at the grocery store, and you got to know what new things you're going to be eating together. And we're going to do 1 slide on that tonight, but the full hour class tomorrow night is on that topic because it's a biggie. Okay, we got to learn what all we can do. And I'm going to tell you, there is so much variety on Planet Shibboleth. It is awesome and exciting. And then we've been over the portions, okay? And see how simple these rules are? They're simple rules that if we will put into play, they will work. These 4 are the ones that you must meet in order to say that you've had a perfect day. The timing one, we're going to talk about it, and it's really for optimization. But if you go over the stuff in the timing one, then it wouldn't be a perfect day anymore. Okay, but we'll go over that next. These 4 are the ones that you have to say that you've had a perfect day, because you don't want to slide and slip and not do the right thing here. Because if you do, what that means is that you're not going to get the results that Shibboleth is telling you that you're going to get if you do these things. All right, so make sure you do those 4 things for sure. In order to get the results that you want, you've got to be in a calorie deficit and control insulin. We don't even focus on counting calories in Shibboleth. So how do we get into a calorie deficit? It's this one right here. We're going to portion control. If you have a properly portioned, properly combined meal on your plate, you're basically controlling your calories with that without having to count them. Okay, so I'm excited about that because I'm not your calorie counting kind of girl. I am not a macro counting kind of girl. I am not a points counting kind of girl. I just wanted to know what to eat and simple, super simple ways. Okay, so that's what I do. Now, with this portions, if you're taking notes, please write this down. There are 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. In order to burn 1 pound of fat, we've got to be in a calorie deficit of by 3,500 calories. Well, that doesn't typically happen overnight. That happens over a course of a few days, and then, repeated, this will happen until you get to your goal weight. But what you want to do in addition to that is control the insulin. See, insulin is a hormone. It's a growth hormone that is focused on fat storage. There's other growth hormones that are in our body, and they're good for cellular recovery and things like that, but they aren't all growth hormones focused on fat storage, and insulin is. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to be storing new fat while we're trying to burn stored energy that's there. Wouldn't that be a vicious cycle? See, that's why Shibboleth works. We're not creating that vicious cycle. We're ending that vicious cycle. So those are the 4 things that you have to do in order to say that you've had a perfect day. Although I'm about to go over component number 5, timing. It is ultra important, and it is also great for optimization, but there is good, better, and best. So timing is really all about us maximizing what we're doing and helping us to stop grazing. So this other little teaching tool I have, this is a cow. Cows graze. Cows have a stomach that is in 4 chambers. It was designed to graze. Our stomach isn't like that. We weren't designed to graze. Okay, so we don't want to be grazers. Grazing is not helping our metabolism. It is also damaging our digestive system. I want you to think of your digestive system as a machine. So if you have a machine that you never give a break, it's eventually going to break down. And if you know you may have these problems yourself, you may know the others that have these problems, but I know you see commercials about them. There's a lot of digestive issues going on out there, and a lot of it has to do with overeating and grazing. So we're going to stop doing that. Okay, so you can have up to 3 meals in a day. We call it breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. 3 times to sit down and enjoy our food that keeps us alive and healthy. So up to 3 meals a day. It is best if you have those 4 to 6 hours apart. This does make sense. Think about it. If you're a breakfast eater like me, then I'm just going to give you what I do. I eat at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I eat at noon. And then I usually finish eating food by 4, but I'm always eating by 6. Well, that's 4 hours in the morning. That's 4 to 6 hours in the afternoon. That is great timing. Okay. That's great timing. We're giving our body an opportunity to digest, and it's going to be awesome. Okay. So 4 to 6 hours apart. Now, if you have a moment of mental weakness, we do call it that. If you have a moment of mental weakness, you can utilize freebies, an extra, or a snack. Okay, freebies are technically unlimited, but I like to still think of them as a freebie because you don't want to just do things all day. Okay, but in the beginning, if you're coming off of big time grazing, big time nibbling, and all of that, then you need to know what your freebies are. Okay, but then you want to back away of those as you start to advance in your habit changing. And you could do up to 1 extra in a day and 1 snack in a day. But if you go over that extra and snack and over 3 meals, then you wouldn't be having a perfect day anymore. Okay, so that really kind of plays into the portion part of the component. And you have to hit the first 4: water, journal, combinations, and portions in order to have a perfect day. But this timing one, if your timing isn't 4 to 6 hours, that's not going to throw you out of having a perfect day if you've done the other 4. All right. And then sometimes you're going to learn even more about intermittent fasting and things like that. And there's ways to optimize this one right here. But I want to say that there's good, better, and best in Shibboleth perfect days, the regular Shibboleth perfect days. If you were to have breakfast and then you have an extra mid-morning, and then you have lunch, and then you have a snack, and then you have dinner, and then you have freebies all night long, that actually looks like grazing. But if it was all approved items in the right portion, in the right combination, that is a good Shibboleth perfect day. So, how can we have a better Shibboleth perfect day? Maybe you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you just have a freebie to satisfy that nighttime desire to eat or whenever you might like it. Because I'm not a nighttime eater, but I like it during the day. That would be an even better Shibboleth perfect day. But if you do just three, what we call eating episodes, if you were to just do 3 meals or 3 eating episodes, whether it's 3 meals or whether it's 2 meals and a snack, that would be one of your best Shibboleth perfect days. But I bet you anything, not every single day that you have is going to be exactly the same. Okay. So just know there's variations in there. And as long as you're hitting all 4 of those other components, you're good. So Mark asked, what's an extra? An extra, and this is the way I say it, it's just something a little extra. So most of the time, an extra is 40 calories or less. So it could be like a little bitty small piece of chocolate that is approved. Okay. It could be a 1/4 cup of Olay cheese dip. It could be the diet lemonade at Chick-fil-A. And I know that might sound funny, but diet lemonade at Chick-fil-A is not 0 calorie, even though it says diet. It's got 50 calories in it. So what an extra is, it's those little things that we just enjoy, that we're trying to make this lifestyle be practical, sustainable, and fun, because we know that if we don't find something that we like and marry it, we can't keep dating diets. We got to find something that we can stick with forever and marry it. If we don't like what we're doing or we feel like we're missing out, then you give up. Okay. So we just want to make sure that you have those little things. So an extra is just something a little extra. But like sometimes I'll come home from work and I just want like a little Choco Right chocolate patty. One of those is an extra. So that's what that is, Mark. Okay. So now we've been over the 5 things, though these are my 5 daily objectives. And what I went through on each of those slides, those are the standards of each objective. Y'all, I have a master's degree in education, used to be a school teacher and a principal. And so you will often hear me do a little education talk. Okay. All right. This is the slide that I'm going to go over tonight about combinations. Tomorrow night's webinar is 1 full hour on this topic. It's ultra important that you are back here for this. So how do you learn how to have a properly combined meal? Well, you're going to learn that there are 7 categories of food. All whole foods and many boxed and packaged and manufactured foods, we've looked at them and we've determined, based on their nutritional value, which category do they go into. Well, in the food library, we tell you that information. And your job in the beginning is to make lists. You want to know your favorite lean proteins, your favorite fibrous carbs, your favorite energy carbs. You want to know all of your favorites. See, on Planet Shibboleth, you don't have to eat anything that you don't like. We help you learn to author your own meal plan. That is extremely important. What I love about Shibboleth is I've been doing this now for 2 years and I feel so empowered. Anywhere I go, I know how to make a Shibboleth approved meal. Anywhere, whether I'm at a luncheon, whether I'm at a restaurant, whether I'm going into a convenience store, whether I'm at a relative or a friend's house, anywhere, I know how to make a Shibboleth approved meal. And in the beginning, I did a lot of searching in the food library. What's this? What's that? What's the other? I took all of my foods from the pantry and the fridge. I looked them up in the food library to see what they were. I took a Sharpie marker. I wrote on them what they were, how I could use them, because it's really just editing what we have always needed to know, but just didn't learn yet. You're now learning it. I want you to kind of treat this week as the college education on nutrition that you wish you could have gotten years ago. Treat it like that. It is that important. Okay. So let's go over these 7 categories. Category 1 is a lean protein, or LP. This is where you're going to find chicken breast, egg whites, fish. Category 2 is fibrous carbs, FC. This is where you're going to find broccoli, green beans, and over 60 approved bread or bread type items. We find the bread and bread type items that break down in your body more like a green bean than a bread, and that's why they can fall into that category. Category 3, energy carbs, or EC. All potatoes, oatmeal, corn. Category 4, protein plus fat. Whole eggs, all cuts of steak, dark meat chicken. Category 5, fruit. All fruit is in fruit. Now, the reason I have this little information in parentheses here, also known as antioxidant carb, is because on some of the documents that are on our website, it says AC, or antioxidant carb, rather than fruit. And I just wanted you to know those are the same things. So if you see antioxidant carb, it's really just a fruit. That word antioxidant, they go in your body and pick up free radicals, and fruits are good for you, okay? But we're going to eat them different in weight loss mode than we do in maintenance mode. Weight loss mode and maintenance mode are 2 different nutritional situations, and we are trying to control insulin very, very tightly in weight loss mode. And fruit is a natural sugar, which brings an insulin release. So this is why we have to treat it differently in weight loss mode. But all fruit goes in fruit. Category 6, superfood, or SF. A food, if you're taking notes, please write this down. A food qualifies to be a superfood if it has all 4 macronutrients in there. So it's got water in it. We consider water a macronutrient on planet Shibboleth, and it's actually the most important macronutrient. It's a 0-calorie macronutrient too. Protein, fat, and carbs. So superfood has all 4 of those things in it. And then category 7, shellfish, SHF, which is really just a lean protein. Now, when we look at shellfish, see, I mentioned earlier that all fish was in lean protein. Shellfish is all the other critters that live in water, even if they don't have a shell. All right, so lobster, clams, octopus. See, octopus doesn't have a shell, but we put that in shellfish. It's a lean protein, just like up here. But we pulled shellfish off of the regular lean protein category because some people don't want to eat shellfish due to biblical reasons or medical reasons, or they just don't like the way it tastes. But anyway, but biblical and medical is the reason that we pulled it away from regular lean proteins. So that is a category 7. Oh, superfood, I should at least tell you what some of those things are. All of your nut butters are here, nuts, seeds, avocado, most of your darker colored beans. Okay, so you're hearing me name off foods. The most important thing that you can do this week is to start making lists of the foods that you like. And in the fast track in lap 3, I've got a great worksheet that will help you list your favorites and then build meals on that same page. Okay. Now, besides learning that there are 7 categories of food and starting to become familiar with what foods go in each categories, you need to know which ones can be eaten together and which ones you don't eat together. So I'm going to start by saying there are 5 of them that you can eat alone. They don't even have to be combined. This is important information because maybe you wake up one morning and you haven't been to the grocery store and you've just got some eggs in there. You can make yourself some scrambled eggs, and that would be a category 4 protein plus fat, and you're cool. Then you can go to the grocery store and get what you need that day, okay? Or maybe you're like me and you go to a lot of luncheons for your job, and you go to this luncheon and you're looking at the food. This is what I said on the very first time I went to a luncheon. I went fat bus, fat bus, fat bus, fat bus. All that food was going to bring the fat bus. It was going to bring an insulin release. And then I got down to the end and I went, chicken. I'm going to eat the chicken. Now, that is me making a decision that is going to benefit me at that time. If I've eaten that food before and it's holiday worthy, I might choose to have a holiday. If it's not holiday worthy, I'm not wasting my calories or my taste buds on it. I'm not going to do it anymore. And I've been around long enough to be able to fully enjoy when I pass up all that stuff that's not helping me. But it's important to know what you can eat because we want to teach you how to eat in all different situations. And you may find yourself in that situation one day and you go, hey, this is a perfect day. What do I need to do right now? Well, just eat what works and leave off the rest. Okay, so we've talked about those 5 that can be eaten alone. But let's look at the ones that must be combined. Category 3, energy carb, and category 5, fruit, must be combined properly. So if you want to eat a category 3 energy carb, it must be eaten with a lean protein, which could come from category 1 or 7, because remember, they're both lean proteins, and a fibrous carb. So that's a must and an and. If you want to eat an energy carb, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let me give you the example of a meal and teach you the science at the same time. I find it very important that you understand the science, because once you understand the science, you actually are going to think, I don't even want to do that to my body anymore. Okay. So let's say that you want to eat a category 3 energy carb. I'm going to use lima beans. Let's say that you want to have some lima beans, but if lima beans aren't your thing, corn, okay, potato, just I'm going to use lima beans though for the example. So let's say you want to have some lima beans. We're going to use our 2-hand rule, right? My lima beans are going to sit about right there. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm wanting to have some lima beans. I must eat that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. I'm just going to put chicken breast right here for this example. That would be a lean protein. And I'm going to put some green beans here for this example. That would be a fibrous carb. I have portion controlled it. I cannot see my food sticking out around my hand, but I've got a properly combined meal under there. Here's the science. The lima beans are going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is then going to secrete insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation. But now that you're learning, I've got to eat in a way that controls insulin. The protein in the chicken breast and the fiber in the green beans are going to neutralize the insulin release that came from the lima beans. Y'all just shout right now. You have just learned how to not store new fat right there. That's how you do it. So we're not going to store new fat, but we also have to get in the calorie deficit to get rid of the old stuff. Okay. So you're going to have about a quarter cup. That's going to be about a quarter cup of lima beans. And think about this. You also didn't overeat the lima beans. If you go down to Ray's on the River in Atlanta, Georgia, and you eat the 1-pound potato that they have on their menu, and you think, oh, I could put a lean protein and a fibrous carb with that, and you think that that's going to be able to deal with that insulin release that comes off of eating a 1-pound potato, you're mistaken. Okay. One of the things that helped you in this situation is also that you didn't overeat them. All right. So the science behind how these things respond in your body is brilliant and absolutely amazing. Okay. Let's say you want to have fruit. So let's say that you want some berries. So you eat some berries, and then I'm just going to use something super simple, but we've got lots of other options. If I mention anything that you don't like, please know that you don't have to eat it. There are lots and lots of other options. But maybe you make yourself an egg white spinach omelet. The egg whites would be a protein, spinach would be your fibrous carb, and it would neutralize the insulin release from the fruit. Okay. So maybe you want to make yourself a lunch and you'd like to have a small apple. So if you have a small apple, there's your fruit. You must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Maybe you choose to have some turkey breast deli meat with a category 2 Olay extreme wellness high fiber tortilla. You have just had a turkey wrap with an apple for lunch or whenever you want to eat it, and have controlled insulin. Okay. This lifestyle is so awesome. So when you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be combined properly. Once you get to maintenance, you could have fruit as a snack if you wanted to. You could have fruit as a snack on a perfect day if you wanted to. But in weight loss mode, fruit must be combined properly. Y'all give me some thumbs up. This is the big one. Okay. Y'all give me some thumbs up if this is making sense and you're understanding the concept behind it. I want you to make sure that you understand the concept behind it. Because if you understand the concept, the next step, awesome Heidi, is just to figure out which foods you like that go in those categories and then pulling them together as a meal. Awesome Luke, Nicole, Nancy, awesome. Thank you. Awesome Becky, Kathleen, Christina, Sheila, M. Napier, Chad, Tammy, awesome. Okay. Awesome, Tanya and Polly, great. Yeah, because once you understand the concept of that, thank you, Sue, then it's just about making meals. It's about making meals next. So the next thing I'm going to teach you is, thank you, Harley, is that, thank you, Helen. Awesome. Thank you, Yvonne. Good. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. So what we need to know now, thank you, Tamar, thank you, is what not to eat together. I'm going to boil this down real simple, and then I'm going to tell you what that qualifies. We do not eat carbs that bring an insulin release with fat. Now, the reason I had to say carbs that bring an insulin release is, look right here. Fibrous carbs don't bring an insulin release, okay? So they'd be okay. But anything else, any carbs or anything else that bring an insulin release, we don't eat with fat. So that would be your category 3 energy carbs, category 5 fruit. And remember, superfood has all 4 macronutrients in there. So it's got some carb properties in there. We don't eat that with protein plus fat. So we're not going to eat energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods with protein plus fat. Let me talk about the classic plate of a steak and baked potato. If you eat a potato, it is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. Insulin, being the growth hormone, that's a fat storage hormone, is going to come out to do the job of regulating your blood sugar, but it's going to get super excited that you've eaten it with the steak because it's going to go, woo, I'm going to go collect that fat. And that's what's going to happen between that and that meal. Here is how you order a meal now if you're wanting a steak and a baked potato. If you want a steak, it can be eaten by itself, okay? But really, you're going to need to order that with a fibrous carb or cook it at home if you're cooking steaks at home with a fibrous carb. You could also have a little bit of chicken with it, or you could have shrimp with it. You could have lobster with it. You could have another lean protein with it. All your protein source is going to fit underneath your hand. So you might do steak and shrimp or steak and lobster, that kind of thing. And maybe you put asparagus or broccoli or green beans or something underneath there. That's the way you'd want to do that. So you kind of have to decide in that situation, what's more important, the potato or the steak? Because if it's the steak, then you eat the steak with a fibrous carb. If it's the potato that is the most important thing, or the energy carb that's the most important thing at that moment, then you need to eat that with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Because if you don't, it's going to get stored as fat, and we don't want that to happen. So does that make sense? Okay, because that was kind of the opposite of what we're combining foods in a way that control insulin. And now what we're doing is we're eating the protein plus fat, but we're not going to eat that with something that brings an insulin release, because the insulin is the fat bus and we don't want it collecting the fat that's in that food. If you think about that first meal example that I gave, There's no fat in that lean protein. There's no fat in there, the fibrous carbs. There's no fat in the lima beans. So there was no fat in that meal. It's just that you've got to control the insulin, because what if later in the day you eat something that's got fat in it? You got to control that insulin with that meal right then. So basically, you're letting food be your medicine all within the eating of that meal. It's awesome, y'all. I mean, I feel like I now know the secret, and I do. I feel like I know the secret to weight loss and wellness, and I say I have hashtag Shibboleth confidence because now I know what to do. I just needed to know what to do. Let's see, Shauna. Awesome. Shauna said, this is so much more clear hearing you explain it. Good, Shauna. Yeah, y'all are going to see once you've been around long enough. Let me tell you this quick little story. I went to a luncheon, and so first of all meat at a restaurant, or when you don't know how it's been cooked, all meat out and about is a category 4, even if it's a piece of chicken breast, because you don't know what oil they cooked it in. So basically, they took a lean protein and cooked some oil into it. So we call all meat at a restaurant or out and about, we call it a 4 because it'll keep you safe. Because at that point in time, I got a 4 on my hands. I only get a fibrous carb with that. That's what I get with it. But I was at a luncheon, and I went over, and they had it all prepackaged. During Corona, they prepackaged everything. So they prepackaged it, and I was walking over there, and I went, oh, chicken, good. Well, there was a roll on top. Well, my mind automatically said, roll goes in the garbage. Not eating that roll. Y'all, these rolls, if you're ever going to have some bread, do something good on a holiday. Don't do just old cheap roll. But anyway, the roll was going in the trash. But then the other foods, they were in those little white containers that had lids, and I couldn't see them, but I saw something that looked like mashed potatoes in one of them. And then I thought, oh, there's got to be some green beans or broccoli in the other. Got to be. Because then I could have chicken and the green beans or the broccoli or whatever. I opened up those containers. There was corn and mashed potatoes. So in my mind, of course, I don't bother everybody else with what goes on in my mind. But in my mind, I thought, Lord have mercy, they're trying to kill us. So they gave us roll, serious insulin spiking going on right there from our blood sugar elevation. Mashed potatoes, probably laden with fat. Okay. That is serious insulin spiking. Corn, serious insulin spiking. All of that, major insulin spiking with chicken breast that's been cooked in a fat that we don't know what it is. All of the fat that was there, and probably all the butter that was in the corn and the mashed potatoes, all of that got stored. That was not a good meal. I had in my purse an oatmeal protein pie. And that's what I decided to eat. I decided to not even eat the chicken. I ate oatmeal protein pie. This was a luncheon for a group of ladies. There was about 40 ladies there. And I'm sitting there, and I am looking around the room, and all I can see in my head is I see blood sugar elevating, and I see insulin coming out of their pancreases. That's what I could see in my head. And I thought, these ladies don't even know what's happening in their body right now. But see, now you do. And now you're responsible for what you do with the information that you have. And this is life-changing information. I am not joking. I'm not making a bigger deal of it than it is. It is life-changing. So I'm so excited to be here with you tonight because we're passing on great info. But come back tomorrow night for the full hour on this topic. You're going to print in lap 1 of Fast Track, you're going to print a basic combination chart that looks like this. Over in lap 6, there's an advanced combination chart, but this one's the basic one. Now, there's 3 colors. Let me tell you what these colors mean. This is the lifestyle column. This is fast weight loss because it's different than what you've been doing. This yellow column is faster weight loss. In this red column, you are blowtorching fat like you'd blowtorch butter. It's flaking and falling off of you all day long when you're doing this. Keep in mind that you may or may not be able to do or want to do a red column meal at breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time. Okay. It's just, you got to learn what to do. And then you're going to have a nice little ebb and flow between all of these. All right. But if you were like me in the beginning and I wanted it off, then I did that. But I also was committed to not falling off the planet because I didn't want to feel deprived and all of that. So if I needed to, I'd go over into the blue column, the lifestyle column. We're going to get to our goal with any of these. But this blue column is like, let's say that we wanted to go to the beach. This blue column is like you got on the scenic route. The yellow column, you took the highway, and the red column, you're taking the interstate. So you can do really any of them. Let me explain to you the way that the way you would read this line, okay? Each line is just a meal that you would combine. So when you look at this, it says category 1, lean protein. That plus sign just means eaten with, okay? We're not doing math on Shibboleth. This is eaten with. A category 6 superfood, eaten with a category 2 fibrous carb. So what this might be chicken breast, black beans, and collards. Okay, that's what that could be. And then this one right here, category 1 lean protein with category 7 shellfish with category 2 fibrous carbs. So that's what that reads like. So that's how those read. These numbers are the category number, not quantity, okay? Not quantity. And on Facebook, let's see, Polly is helping out over here on Facebook. Mark says, can we do a 6-2 on the first day, like approved peanut butter? And yes, you can, Mark. And thank you, Polly, for helping. Y'all, Polly is 87 and she has been living this lifestyle now for 5 or 6 years and is helping other people. And I am excited about that because I want us to. One of the most important things we can do for ourselves is to prepare for being a senior adult. And I know that might not want to be, that's not the greatest thing in the whole wide world, but if we prepare for being a senior adult, it's going to be easier and more fun to be a senior adult. So let's go ahead and prepare for that now. This is kind of like having a 401k for health. All right. You got to plan for retirement. Got to plan for retirement with our health as well. Okay. So we've got about 5 little slides left. They go pretty quick. This is a recap of what I just talked about. The fastest fat burning combination is a lean protein with a fibrous carb cooked up in an MCT oil. We're going to go over MCT on the next slide. That would make your fastest fat burning combination. If you want to eat a category 3 energy carb or a category 5 fruit, you must eat it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. We don't eat category 4s, which are your protein plus fat. We don't eat that with energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods. All meat at a restaurant should be considered a category 4, protein plus fat. All right. This is one of those, this is a secret alert too. This is another secret alert. And this is also one of the simple swaps that we make on Planet Shibboleth. So you already heard me talk a minute ago about a tortilla, and I said a specific one, the Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla. Well, there's a lot of approved tortillas, but see, right now you might not be buying the right tortilla. You're switching, okay? There's going to be a lot of products that you just make simple swaps with, all right? But this is huge. You want to use 100% MCT oil if you are cooking, making a recipe, or an approved salad dressing. We don't take MCT oil as a supplement. We don't make bulletproof coffee with it. We don't randomly add it to shakes or anything like that. A medium chain triglyceride has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Now, let's show you the opposite. What people have usually been eating: olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, and those types of things. Those are long chain triglycerides. So let's say that we have two candle wicks, okay? We have a long candle wick and a short candle wick. Which wick is going to burn the fastest? The short one. So that is the difference between long chain and medium chain. It burns faster. Keep in mind too that long chain triglycerides are dense and they are hard to break down. Listen to this next statement. Long chain triglycerides have a great propensity to be stored on your body as fat. I heard that. I said, oh, that's never happening again. I am not doing that. So when at home, I'm not ever buying all that again. I mean, medium chain triglyceride is it. So this is what I use. That is our number one recommended. Make sure that when you purchase it, the ingredients list says that it is 100% medium chain triglycerides. There are marketing ploys that they put on the front, medium chain triglycerides, but then they go to the back and it says coconut oil. Coconut oil is approved, but it's not 100% MCTs. Coconut oil is 66% MCTs. So you want to make sure that if you want to buy, you can also use coconut oil. That's not a problem. But if you want the best of the best, it's this one. And I want you to make sure you're buying the right thing. If you want to have your MCT be what we recommend, you go to myshibboleth.com/shop, the store where you get 20% off being a member anyway, and get the Zero Drag brand. The reason I suggest that is it's going to save you time, energy, effort, and money just not driving around trying to find the right one. Okay. Just get it ordered and it'll be to your house in a couple of days if you want to. Coconut oil is approved, but it's 66% MCTs. Ghee butter, GHEE, butter. So this is butter. It's just been clarified. What that means to you is this does not have any of the milk solids in it. It's just the natural fats left. So it's 40% MCTs. But this is one of those things that makes our lifestyle sustainable. If somebody likes lobster tail and they want to dip it in butter, there's your butter. If you like to make shrimp scampi, there's your butter. You see where I'm going with that. So if you need something that requires butter, there's your butter. You can also use 0-calorie cooking spray. 0-calorie cooking spray is great for when you're cooking protein plus fat. That's how I decide what I'm using. If I am making a protein plus fat, it's already got fat in it. I do not need to add fat to it. I use 0-calorie cooking spray. But when I am cooking a lean protein, I use 100% MCT oil. When you are using MCT oil, please cook on low to medium heat. Otherwise, it will set off your smoke detector because it burns like that. Okay. So keep in mind, we don't want that to happen to you. So cook on low to medium heat. It has a low smoke point. So I had a great question one night. Somebody said, why would I choose to use medium chain triglycerides, which has got calories in it, about 130 calories per tablespoon, versus a 0-calorie cooking spray that doesn't have any calories? And I said, well, two reasons. Medium chain triglycerides have a muscle preserving effect, and we are focused on preserving our muscles on Planet Shibboleth. It also has a metabolism building effect. Boom, boom, boom. That's how fast this burns. It burns up. Well, when things burn fast, there's heating up. That burns a few extra calories. Okay. Now, with that being said, you're hearing me say lots of great things about it. We're still not taking it as a supplement, not making bulletproof coffee, not putting it in random shakes and other things. We are using it very purposefully, cooking, recipe swap, or making approved salad dressings. Okay. Nicole, it depends on what you're cooking. It depends on what you're cooking. So if you're cooking a chicken breast, feel free to use the medium chain triglycerides. If you're cooking a steak on there, then I would use 0-calorie cooking spray. Yeah, it depends on what you're cooking. Awesome. So this is the oils. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Now there's a lot of information out there. Let's call it noise. See, there's a lot of noise out there about how you should be using MCT oil. We are constantly having to retrain people because people will grab onto one idea and think that it works, and it doesn't. Okay, but they've started doing it and they've gotten into a habit of doing it, and so they want to keep doing it. MCT oil must be used properly for us to get the benefits that we are wanting. We are wanting to burn body fat, stored energy. And if we use the MCT oil in the right way, then that will happen. If we don't use it in the right way, it doesn't happen. So we want to use it according to the nutritional situation that we're in. Okay, we're going to bring this whole baby together. We are striving for perfect days, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. Just know that after a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into efficient fat burning. What's happening during those 2 days? The insulin that was released during a holiday is dissipating, and any glycogen, which is sugar stores that came up during that holiday, those are being used up as energy and they're going away. But on that third perfect day, you are back in EFB, baby, efficient fat burning. When we are in EFB, our body uses stored energy for the energy that it needs, rather than us giving it unapproved oils or starchy or sugary carbs. Just like people usually take the path of least resistance, our body, when it needs energy, it's going to go to the easiest source. Long chain triglycerides that are taken forever to burn through, and starchy and sugary carbs. If you are always having your body work on those 3 things, it's never getting to the stored fat that you have a desire to get rid of. This makes so much sense, doesn't it? I love it. So this is a management system. Let's revisit what I talked about in the beginning. It's a management system. You can have up to 6 holidays in a month. You want to string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. After that holiday, which by the way, you should not feel bad about, enjoy your holiday, get back to business right after the holiday, okay? Now we know what to do. After that holiday, you just get 2 perfect days again. On that third perfect day, you're in EFB, string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can, and then a holiday's coming. You can also have 2 holidays in a row. Like let's say you're going out of town for the weekend, you can have 2 in a row, fine, get back to business on Monday. Okay, so that's the way that it works. So let's recap what the fat bus is. Let's see, hold on. I might have missed, Mark, I hope I didn't miss other questions. Last question. Okay, so he's asking about diet sodas and the half gallon of water. Okay, you want to at least get in a half a gallon of water up to a gallon. You can have diet drinks. It does not take the place of any of your water. Nothing takes the place of your water. So what I do is I will have maybe a diet drink if I'm out at a restaurant and just want a treat or something like that. But if I'm trying to save money, I just get water. But that's the way you work that. And I don't know if I missed any other questions. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm going to read what you wrote, Polly. Polly wrote, Amen. I wish I had known this many years ago when I was doing diets that worked but weren't sustainable. Yeah, Polly. Yep, I got you. Okay, the fat bus is insulin. It's a growth hormone. It's a fat storage hormone. After an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours. Hence, the 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning, because during those 2 days, insulin is dissipating and glycogen is going away. This third point right here is very important for you to know. Insulin also increases your appetite. Have you ever eaten ice cream and then wanted a bag of chips, and then you wanted cookies, and then you wanted a pickle, and then you're like, oh my goodness, why am I doing this? Insulin, it increases your appetite. So we just want to be aware of that. And this is why it's even important to write down absolutely everything, even on a holiday, because if you have to go over and write all that down, you might second guess having it. Okay. So, and it's easier to recover from a holiday that isn't a hog trough day. All right. We're trying to get results here. I know that. And I keep saying that because you want results too. After the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 days to get back into EFB. So what are you going to eat this week? You are simply going to make a list. This is just the starting point. Make a list of 7 favorite lean proteins, 7 favorite fibrous carbs. You pick something from one category and something from the other category, cook it up in an appropriate oil, and eat it. It's that simple. Then throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. We're not like everybody have meal replacements all the time. That's not really what it is. But if you're eating a Pop-Tart now, you got to figure out what Pop-Tart's going to help you, not hurt you. If you're eating cereal now, you got to figure out what cereal and what milk is going to help you, not hurt you. That's part of what we do in the Fast Track week. We have this class starting tonight every night at 7:30 through Saturday, and then it repeats it the next week and the next week. Okay. So got to throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. In the beginning, keep it super simple so that you get results and you get excited and you want to keep going and you're building those new habits and you're getting it all down. You'll branch out and learn recipes and all kinds of other things as you go along in this lifestyle. I do want you to take advantage of our awesome resources. So Shibboleth is a ministry. We charge a nominal fee. We have to, otherwise they couldn't pay employees. They couldn't have the free mentor appointments. They couldn't have the website. Okay, so it costs a little bit to get in to Shibboleth, but you are going to be shocked at what all we can do to help you. We would like to, frozen veggies are fine, Nicole. You just want to make sure that it's like a true frozen veggie. If it's got a whole bunch of other mix and stuff in it, please go ahead and check it out in the food library and make sure that it is approved. Okay, Christy says, when we're done, I have a Zoom Facebook group related question. I'm having trouble seeing comments or being able to comment myself if I view stream of Facebook, and here in the chat, I can see no participants. Oh, that's weird. I want to see the participants' questions or ask questions myself within the group. So Christy, one thing that's going on is this. A lot of people do not have their chat set to all panelists and attendees. So everybody, do me this favor. That's a great question, Christy. Everybody look at your chat. Where you have been chatting, look to see what is to the right of your name. If it says all panelists, I'm the only one seeing that. If it says all panelists and attendees, that's everybody can see it. So that's why in the very beginning of all the webinars, I say set your chat to all panelists and attendees. Travis will say the same thing as well. So make sure that you do that so everybody can see. So that's what's going on there, Christy. And in Facebook, I don't know why you wouldn't be seeing it in Facebook. That's probably just a setting. Every once in a while, I'll have that happen to me too. And sometimes I do lives on Facebook and I don't even get any comments at all. And then I go back and there's 15 comments there. So it can be weird. But in Zoom, set your chat to all panelists and attendees. Hope that helps, Christy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So you want to join our Facebook groups if you're a Facebook user. If you are not a Facebook user, please know that everything that you need is on our website. You don't need Facebook. There's just some extra support groups on there if you want them. Also, familiarize yourself with our awesome website. Now, this whole week, starting on Tuesday night through Saturday, is me helping you shorten your learning curve on the website. It's awesome and amazing, and it's robust. How can I help you? You join the webinars each night and you can learn it. Now, let me just give you a tip. If you don't have time to join them, just walk through all of the tasks in each lap. The little lap video that's there for each lap is the shortened version of the tutorial. But I'd rather you spend time with me, and you will get more because it's longer than just the short tutorial. I would love for you to get us to set up a getting started mentor appointment. But really, if you spend Fast Track week with me, what you're going to end up scheduling is probably a meal planning appointment just to make sure that you understand what kind of meals to have, because you will have already gotten started. Or if you need additional help, you could get a website walkthrough and other types. But go ahead and schedule a mentor appointment for next week. The reason I want you to schedule it for next week is I want you to hyper focus on Fast Track this week. Because if a mentor has to spend the 30 minutes of time, now you can have them as often as you need to, but they are set in like 30-minute increments because that way they can get to, multiple people in a day. But if they have to spend 30 minutes fully explaining the lifestyle to you when you could have used Fast Track to help you do that, then then y'all might not have the best conversation that you can have. Now, if you don't understand it after doing fast track, for sure, have that conversation. But if you do semi get it, you understand everything's cool, then you're going to want to set up an appointment where maybe you talk about foods and different things like that. But what I really want you to do is just get to know the mentors and know that they are there for you. If you have any questions this week, there is a chat feature on our website in the bottom right-hand corner. You can click there, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That is monitored by one of those mentors if they're not on a mentor appointment, all right? And then last but not least, welcome to the Shibboleth family, okay? We are here for you. We've been where you are, and we want nothing more than to see you succeed, okay? So I'm going to stop this share, read this last question. Food allergies like nuts, is there a substitution section in the library? Can I use sun butter, a sunflower spread? You should be able to. So I'm going to say this, everybody. If you cannot hang on with me to answer this question, I understand. And bye. I will see you tomorrow night. Okay. Thank you all for being with me. But I am going to take the time to answer Sue's question right now. Okay. But y'all just know I want to assure you, I started saying this earlier and I stopped mid-sentence. I want to assure you you've made a good decision. This is a wonderful lifestyle and it will help you achieve what you're wanting to for health. I've talked a lot tonight about, of course, burning fat. Everybody wants to do that. But if you are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, this can help you with that too. If you've got any friends that need this help, please let them know. You're welcome, everybody. Luke, tomorrow night on Zoom, on Facebook, I want y'all to come to the Zoom room, because if you come to the Zoom room, we have immediate talking. Facebook is delayed. Also, remember that in the Zoom room, you get credit for attending classes. We can't keep track of the Facebook stuff, but we can in the Zoom room. So please come. Yeah, Luke will be Zooming. Awesome, Luke. Yay, Becky. Awesome. Christy and Kathleen and Christina and Sarah. Awesome. And Yvonne, Sarah, Deborah. Okay, cool. Thank you all so much. And y'all feel free to hang on if you want to see something else. Awesome, Diane and M. Napier. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. So is it best to be right here to get credit? Yeah, it's best to be in the Zoom room to get credit. Always register at the pink online webinars tab and then come to the Zoom room. You need to at least spend 20 minutes in the Zoom room to get that credit. Okay. And Janet's been with me 3 weeks and she says that every time I hear you, I learned so much. Awesome, Janet. Because what we're trying to do is we are trying to retrain. We have a massive amount of unlearning to do. And this is part of it, coming back over and over and over. And it is important. Let's see. Julie says, is it okay to arrive a little late for the meeting tomorrow night? I have a previous commitment. Julie, just come on and jump in. Every bit that you get will be helpful. Every bit that you get live is very, very helpful. You can always go back and rewatch things because everything that we do is recorded and put into the website for on demand, but come live if you can. Yes, just be a few minutes late. Yes. Awesome, Tamar. Awesome. That's wonderful. I'm glad I did say it right. I hope I'm getting Christina's name right. There's a couple of I's in there, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm not lilting that right. You're welcome, Kimberly. You're welcome, Julie. You're welcome, Tanya on Facebook. Awesome. Okay, so let's get over here into these allergy things. I'm going to share my screen. Going to the Shibboleth website. Now, one thing that's really important is that you work your way through the fast track laps. If you're brand new, it should be popping open to that. But if you're not new, if you're here for a refresh, click on dashboard and then click on fast track. You want to make sure that you have worked your way through lap 1 and lap 2. This is where your welcome packet is. This is where your combination charts are and all of that. Lap 2, it's a lot of little housekeeping stuff in order to get your account set up fully so it's going to do the best for you. Those people who don't go in and set up their accounts properly, they don't get the most out of what they could from the website. So this is what this is all about. But you want to make sure that after you've done all of lap 1 and lap 2, that you take your fast track test and earn your first badge, because lap 3 is all about playing in this food library, and you're going to want to have the food library completely open to you. You won't want it to be the new member food library anymore so that you can fully play in it. But to keep things simple, you could always go back to the new member food library, which is kind of right here on the right. In lap 4, we're going to play in the recipe library. If you have taken that quiz and passed it, your full recipe library will be open to you. And in lap 6, we're going to look at the restaurant guide. You're going to want a whole restaurant guide to be open to you too. That all happens after you've taken this test in lap 2. I need y'all to trust the lap system. Start in lap 1, read this, watch this for a short tutorial, read the black box. It's different for every single task. The black box tells you why you're doing that task, and if there's anything special you need to know about doing that task. You then click the link, you do the task, you come back here and you check the box. Okay, so it's written to be a curriculum that you walk your way through. But the reason I was showing all of that is because I want to say to Sue that if you go to the food library and it's not fully open, that's because you haven't gotten to lap 2 yet, okay, and taken that test. So that was the long way to say that, but it was also important. So I'm going to go to the green Resources, Foods, and Recipes tab, and I'm going to click on Food Library. And because I know that nut butters and seeds and things like that are superfood, I'm going to click on superfood right here and just show you. This website is awesome. So right here, there is an allergen-free filter. This is a filter. I'm looking through to see, there's peanut-free. Which one do you want me to click, Sue? Let's see. Sue says food allergies like nuts. Is there a substitution section? Can I use sun butter? Okay, let me click. I'm going to click peanut free. So it's going to filter out anything that has peanuts in it. Okay, so right here, we've got Abby's Better Nut Butter. Yeah, cool, Sue, awesome. Yeah, so this right here, this is where you're going to come through and you're going to do that right there. But let's see, sun butter. Is sun butter 2 words or 1? Okay, there's sun butter. There you go. There's your sun butter. So, great question. But y'all use the filters because those filters will make a difference if you have a special food concern. All right. Hey, if y'all want to join me in the morning, I usually go live on the Shibboleth public Facebook page. Part of lap 1 is making sure that you've liked that page, usually around 7:30, could be 7:40-ish in the morning with a little morning motivation and daily devotion. And it's called The Shibby Show. And I would love for you to join me in the morning. If you're looking to continue this party right now that we've got going on, you can head on over to Travis Martin's Weight Loss Ministry page on Facebook and watch Jason do a video called How I Overcame Food Addiction and Lost Weight. Awesome, Heidi. Awesome. I love that. She says she always looks forward to the morning motivation or daily devotion. But if you want credit for watching Jason, go right now to the Shibboleth website, click on the, let me show you. Go right here, click on the pink online webinars tab. It says How I Overcame Food Addiction and Lost Weight, happening now. You click register, but when you register, it says join webinar in progress. Once you've spent 20 minutes in there, you get credit. So bye, everybody.